Good afternoon, everyone. How's it going? What's up? Excuse the tardiness. I had some tech hiccups that I had to deal with, and of course, that would all happen 3 minutes before it's time to clock in. How's everyone's day going? It's a beautiful day here in Indianapolis. I love to start my mornings with a walk. And this morning I was joined by a new friend of mine named Nora Elder. And she is the creator, owner, inspiration behind ChooseTheMarble.com, wellness workshops, and also one on one coaching. Really lovely to chat with her this morning and get to know her a little more and share our love of being outside on the trail together. But outside of that, I mean, this week has been pretty steady. Work has been good. Open houses, of course, trying to get all those buyers off of the sidelines. But it's tricky for sellers right now because buyers are taking their time and buyers also have more choices. So everyone's feeling a little antsy, but our heads are still in the game and we are focused. With that, let me share a quick market update from my board of realtors, my board. And this is going to be going over the market update for August 2025.
Third, days on market. Days on market continues to slowly yet steadily grow. In August, the median days on market were 19, up from 14 last year. Historically, this is still a fairly quick pace, but the continued growth shows us that improving inventory levels are giving consumers more options and time. Additionally, the list price to sale price ratio, while sturdy at 97.9%, is slowly declining as the market continues to shift back to something more competitive. For more information about the housing market in Central Indiana, go to myboard.com/market insights. Hi everyone, I'm Brad Coffing, Director of Housing Insights with the MyBoard Realtor Association, and here are 3 takeaways from the August 2025 market report. First, inventory. Active inventory for single-family homes continues to improve, up 18% in August with 5,900 homes on the market at the end of the month. This reflects 2.1 months of supply at the current pace of sales. While inventory for the region is still roughly 10% below pre-pandemic levels, some local markets have fully recovered, providing more opportunities for consumers. Second, closed sales. Closed sales recovered well in August, up 5.3% over last year. After a tough July, consumers came back to the market as mortgage rates began to improve towards the end of June, proving once again that even modest improvements in borrowing costs continue to spur market activity. Third, days on market. Days on market continues to slowly yet steadily grow. In August, the median days on market were 19, up from 14 last year. Historically, this is still a fairly quick pace, but the continued growth shows us that improving inventory levels are giving consumers more options and time. Additionally, the list price to sale price ratio, while sturdy at 97.9%, is slowly declining as the market continues to shift back to something more competitive. For more information about the housing market in Central Indiana, go to myboard.com/market insights.
All right, all right. So a few takeaways from that as I pull up another piece of data for you. Okay, so to Brad's points, the listing activity has been on the slower side just because inventory is increasing. That's a great thing for buyers, but sellers are having to be a little more patient, getting those eyes on the listing, getting the feet across the threshold into open houses, and to get those offers. We're definitely over that 2 month mark of inventory. That's typically how the real estate world measures, is this a balanced market, a seller's market, a buyer's market? And word on the street nowadays, it used to be 6 months of inventory was considered a balanced market, but now the conversation, it's actually closer to 4 months of inventory. So again, I keep saying it, during the pandemic days, we were well below 2 months or even a month at periods. And now, even just that little feels like a little change, but it's actually having a big impact on the way this market is moving. And what I would say to buyers is now is a great time to come off of the sidelines. I had a talk with one of my my lender buddies, Madeline, and she, of course, advised me on the rates today, just moments before the show. And let me pull up my phone so I'm not misquoting, because rates change daily. That's why realtors and brokers, we always tell you, we have enough lending info to be dangerous, but we like to stay in our lane. So we can ask what the rate is, but our lender partners really help us get down to the nitty gritty. And as of today, 30-year fixed rate mortgages are hovering around the mid to low sixes. So it's really going to depend on what you are bringing to the table as a buyer, and also just your unique scenario. How much savings do you have? How much debt do you have? What does that overall kind of story look like? That's overall going to impact your rate the most. But it's great to see them coming down, of course, because the last few years we've been hovering around that 7 mark. Something I've been thinking about lately, just from a being more active on the listing side of life and having more buyer experience as far as real estate goes, what difference would it have made in my personal life if we had waited to sell our condo? We had this idea in our head. This was before I had a license, that we just had to wait for the springtime to sell. That was just in our head because, good job, real estate. Y'all marketed it that way. And that's what lived in our brains. We could not sell the condo until every project was done, and we needed to give ourselves that time at least to get to spring. Well, we ended up selling in August of 2019. And, the famous story, listeners who have heard the story, I should say, we turned our condo around in about 3 weeks, just getting it ready for the market. And then after that, it was a little over 2 weeks when we got our offer and accepted that offer. So August 2019, right? And this is buyers, I'm putting myself in your shoes right now, because that was August 2019, and we all know it came in March of 2020. That was the start of the pandemic and what would be a wild ride for the entire world. And I think, okay, well, there are plenty of rock star agents out there that were still getting the job done, and there were no issues that way, but it would have been a lot more chaotic. On the flip side, we probably could have got a little more for our condo, but who knows? Condo and single family markets can vary, but could we have gotten more for the condo if we'd waited? But then also, what would that search and that overall process look like for us had we waited to list our home and then also try to shop for a home at the height of the pandemic? And life is going to life, just like real estate is going to real estate. You move when you have to, and you make heavy and productive decisions when you need to. So that's something I've been thinking about lately. Our realtors and agents, are we really checking in to our buyers' motivations? Buyers, are you being honest about your motivations in this market? what you want, what you're looking for? Can we help you drill down and get a better idea of what you're looking for? These are the things agents and brokers right now are doing, putting themselves in your shoes, really tapping back into the market and our own personal experiences. We've all, in some way, done real estate personally, whether it's buying, selling, investing, or all of the above. And we really want to take consideration that way. We're not, a good broker should not force you to move or pick a house, make an offer, but we do have to ask hard questions sometimes. And what I would ask you, buyer, is we're in central Indiana, and I can show you data that shows typically homes are appreciating at a good rate in Indiana when the rest of the country is experiencing dips or even hikes or spikes. We will plateau and then we keep going up. So just food for thought, because we're seeing the inventory increase. At some point, that pendulum is going to swing back, and then you're going to run into more multiple offer situations. We are starting to see that in our local market. And there's just a lot to consider that way, right? So you can keep waiting for rates to come down, and that's great. They have. Check with your lender partner to see exactly what you can do in that moment. Hey, we see the rates going down. What does that mean for us? And realtors, we can help you facilitate that conversation as well. But you want to be thinking about things that way, because if the cold months go by and then surprise, we're in the spring market again. Great news is that there's going to be more inventory, but what happens when there are a lot more buyers, and you might be in a better position now than they will be then. So whatever your personal scenario is right now, just be thinking about things that way. Can you find the house, get locked in there, get the home that you love, that you see right now, and then you can refinance later as rates continue to drop. If we run back into a competitive situation, well, yourselves, buyers, will drive prices back up because that demand will be there again. All right. Let's move on from that. I want to share my listing with you all and talk a little bit about that, because it's awesome and it's in a great location, beautiful home, and we need to find a buyer. So every week I'm going to try to do kind of like a listing of the week, but I wanted to talk about this listing because, again, it's mine, and I will be actually hosting an open house this weekend. So I just want to talk a little bit about it with you all and invite you out. This is so fun. You can't see what I can see, but all this new tech stuff behind the scenes that I'm learning and have been studying, and lots of fun over here. Okay. Okay, so welcome everyone to 4061 Byram Avenue. There we go. Okay. So I'm just letting the video play. I've got it muted here. Try to make this a little bigger for you. But 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. This home is located in the Butler Tarkington area of Indianapolis. So really close to Crown Hill Cemetery. I know, oops, cemetery. Some of you think that's really cool. Some of you might be a little creeped out by that. But the Crown Hill Cemetery is actually a really cool space, not only to memorialize your loved ones, but they do a lot of cool, mild mannered events there. One of my favorite things about this location is that it's a mile away from Newfields Museum here in town. Newfields is a great place if you're into art. I know when I go to like a new city or I'm in a new place, the first thing I kind of want to explore is a museum just to tap into local history, but also kind of to see what they're having on display, what kind of exhibits they have at that time, because all the arts rotate. So I've always loved museums for that reason. And Newfields is no different. Every first Thursday of the month, you can actually get in for free. Not the special exhibits like the Loom, for example. You will have to buy a ticket into that. But the rest of the museum is just wide open for your access. The first Thursday of every month, you can do that. I believe they close at 4 p.m. Might make it a little hard for some of you, but it's a really nice time if you can escape for a lunch. I love to go there to clear my head and just not have my phone out, look around at pictures, and take in everything I need to from the arts. It's a lovely time. Part of doing open houses, which I will be hosting an open house here, 4061 Byram Avenue, this Sunday, September 14th, from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And part of the open house process is you get to meet the neighbors. We do some door knocking around our open houses just to let people know, hey, we're going to be here. Come on out. If you know someone who might want to move in, bring them. But talking to a good handful of neighbors, they really pointed out that they love the quick access to Broad Ripple from this location. So 10 minutes or less in your car. And it's only a mile away from Butler University and all those athletic fields around the Hinkle Field House. And that's actually open to the public. I didn't realize that. Not necessarily the field house, but the track and the fields, which I think it's pretty cool if you have active kiddos or will have a house with active kiddos. That's a really nice touch. There's a ton of space in this home, nearly 2,000 square feet, full unfinished basement. Mechanicals are in great shape. Everything's been serviced. The owner has painted everything in the home as well as had it deep cleaned. Today, we've been on the market for a few weeks, and we are hoping that our buyer is out there this weekend. If that is you, I will be at the open house on Sunday, September 14th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And please, follow me on Instagram, Jamal the Broker, all social media. And you can see the post and share it with your broker if you don't have one. Call me if you need help with that, and we can get you in there to see it. Okay. Let's take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
Mortgage strategy makes all the difference. A move up, or a refinance, the right mortgage strategy makes all the difference. I'm Madeline Shevlin, a local mortgage loan officer based right here in the Indy area. I specialize in helping first-time buyers and growing families navigate the loan process with confidence. No jargon, no surprises, just guidance from somebody who truly cares. I'm here to make things simple, strategic, and stress-free. From helping you get pre-approved to finding the right loan program, I take pride in being the loan officer who actually answers the phone breaks things down clearly, and keeps you informed every step of the way. Refinancing? I'll help you weigh your options and decide what's actually best for you. Let's make your home goals happen together with a mortgage that fits your life. Follow me on Instagram at Mortgage with Madeline or visit rate.com/Madeline Shevlin to connect today. Buying a home should feel exciting, not overwhelming. Whether it's your first place, a move up, or a refinance, the right mortgage strategy makes all the difference. I'm Madeline Shevlin, a local mortgage loan officer based right here in the Indy area. I specialize in helping first-time buyers and growing families navigate the loan process with confidence. No jargon, no surprises, just guidance from somebody who truly cares. I'm here to make things simple, strategic, and stress-free. From helping you get pre-approved to finding the right loan program, I take pride in being the loan officer who actually answers the phone, breaks things down clearly, and keeps you informed every step of the way. Refinancing? I'll help you weigh your options and decide what's actually best for you. Let's make your home goals happen together with a mortgage that fits your life. Follow me on Instagram at Mortgage with Madeline or visit rate.com/Madeline Shevlin to connect today.
All right, welcome back. Sorry about that tech hiccup. The internet is going to internet. Just heard some words from Madeline Shevlin over at Rates. So remember, if you have any lending questions, you'll want to reach out to her. Let me pop her info up really quick for you. But Madeline Shevlin, she and I have done business together. We have clients together. Any lending questions, reach out to her and she will take care of you. I'll make sure that her info is in the show notes as well if you're listening to this. And let's get back to the show. So, a little bit of what we have coming up. So, the team and I, we love to host an event. We love to have people out to educate, but also, just to fellowship and take care of our people. And we really try to do that with the community as well. So, I've got a seller social coming up here next week. Mhm, mhm. There it is. On Wednesday, September 17th, at 7 p.m. Eastern here locally in Indianapolis at the Health Club. Really cool atmosphere. It's a, THC tap room, and they have CBD goodies as well. We're going to help some sellers hopefully come out, learn what you can do to get your home ready for the market if you're considering selling. I, of course, would love to help you with that. But we will be sharing a few tips, takeaways, if you will, for you to have to help you get ready for that journey. But also, we love an education moment beyond just what to do with the house. So, we're going to be giving you questions, answers to questions that people ask realtors from the selling perspective. So, the first 10 signups get a complimentary beverage on us and Madeline. Thank you, Madeline, for that sponsorship. And it should be no more than an hour, and it should be a great time. Come out and learn how to get your home ready, some mistakes to avoid so you enter the market secure and properly. And yeah, I would love to see you there this Wednesday, September 17th, 7 p.m. Eastern at the Health Club. So we also have things just kind of to keep on your radar. Every month I do a home buying webinar, and also my team in October, we will be doing an estate planning event. It's actually like a part two of one that we've done previously, but estate planning is huge. Downsizing is a big thing in, let's call it the real estate trend right now. And part of that could be managing your estate. What do you do with Mama or Papa's home and all the things inside and all the other business tied to that? We just aim to give you any education that we can. So keep your eyes and ears open for that information. And I can't wait to see you there as well. So, what to do this weekend in Indy? The Colts are playing. I don't know anything about sports ball. So, if they're here, go to the game. Or tune in, of course. I did 4 years in marching band. So while I'm not the most athletic person in the world, I can appreciate the atmosphere. And also, the Indie Jazz Fest is going on through the 20th of September. I believe tickets for that start around $15. But remember, my source for all these events, one of my favorite places for things to do locally, visit indie.com and go to their weekend 5. And every week on Thursday, they post the top 5 events that they will have going on for the weekend. So, yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today. This has been great. We're going to continue to work through the clunkiness with the tech, but I know I have my notes on things that are causing the hiccups and how to alleviate them. So hang in there with me. I appreciate your patience, and come out and see me at my open house this weekend, 4061 Byram Avenue, and I will be there September 14th, this Sunday, from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. This coming Wednesday, I will have my Sip and Sell Seller Social event. You can find all of these links on my website and on my link tree. They'll be posted in the show notes, and I would love to see you there. Okay, have a beautiful rest of your day. Happy Friday. Have a beautiful weekend. Talk to you later.